because we're discussing a strip joint to do midlife mischief in.
Save it for the show. I know exactly where we're going to go.
Okay. Okay, once again, if you're driving and listening to my voice, honk your horn. Honk if you can hear me.
I hear your voice.
Did you honk? Did you honk? Oh, we're live now.
I guess so. How's it going, everybody? And welcome on in as advertised. We are back here outside the Portnoy Gallery once again for Wine, Art, and Music. The
Wham!
event, the first one. GoLive Vegas crew. We were very excited about this. Last time was our first time, and it was an absolute thrill. It was a privilege, and when we got the invite,
it was fun.
Absolutely, and when we got the invite to come on back, Raquel,
yep,
we fired because we were chomping at the bit, and here we are once again. We'll have similar coverage as last time. We're set up
freezing our asses off.
Yeah, obviously January, even colder than we were last time, which was, looking ahead at Christmas. We were previewing the holidays,
yep,
and now that we're on the other side of those.
Yep.
2025 is off to a great start on all fronts. It's
It
been great
is.
on the GoLive Vegas front. We're excited what's to come with Neil and Dorothy. We'll talk to them later in the night. Coverage will be very similar. We'll talk to the people who have the honor of being Portnoy, distinguished honor. We'll show you some of the art once again. And for those who missed it last time, we'll give you the full tour with Mary on the being in Vegas and being a digital network. We're not really going to give all away.
No, because it's a surprise.
Exactly, because it's a surprise. That has so much to do with what GoLive Vegas will be about for the next month. It's on. Sorry. It's on.
Is mine on? Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me? I can hear you through her. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, all right, I'm just going to keep talking.
That's okay. We're live.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
That's what happens. But anyway, ultimately, though.
It's not a big deal.
Well, now anyway.
I'm reading the signs.
But no, absolutely, and being in a city like Vegas and being in a town where you could go down the arts history, you could kind of plant the seeds for what's to come on the GoLive Vegas front. Then you come 90 seconds down the road to the Portnoy Gallery, being in remote, and this is why I wonder why we couldn't do audio checks. I don't. Well, Well, Raquel.
Yes.
All you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my glasses on. I'm gonna do some. Hello. DJ Waistline. Who's DJ Waistline? Do we know? Do we know that name? We don't know that name. But they're every Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. DJ Waistline.
There you go.
At Little Darlings.
Amazing what the information will tell you just off of marquees, and that's the beauty of Vegas. Signage is everything in this city.
I'm just
and
trying
I hope
to help.
You all can hear me. We're going to be ready to go throughout the night. It's a lot of fun to be down here.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is that we really only know so much because they're still setting up right now inside the gallery. So a lot of it's going to be a surprise to us as well. But again, we'll have full coverage of everything happening with the festivities. And again, some observations from Raquel because last time we were here,
they left me outside and I froze my ass off.
Yes. Tell it how it is. I like how you pull no punches. You don't sugarcoat it.
I was cold.
We're cold.
And we will see the because as you can see, I'm getting more and more layers as we go on every time we do an event. And I'm stuck outside. I don't know why I'm the one that's always stuck outside, but I'm always outside.
Yes, and then you're in the time being. No, I'm just. I probably would prefer that way, but anyway. No, and I love how last time you even chimed in on the comments, but with this remote setup, we don't. It's not like when we host our podcast in studio, we didn't have the feed in front of us to see the comments. So afterwards, when we wrapped up here at the Portnoy Gallery and went back home, I went back, watched the show, and I'm like, oh man, the whole time me and Mary were walking through the wings of the gallery, Raquel's all like, help, I'm cold. So we're gonna avoid that this time around. But I remember, yeah, exactly. It's this time I'll turn on the heater.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Turn on the car. We'll be good to go. But last time we were here, you pointed out the Little Darlings marquee, and I loved it because you have a 7-Eleven right here. The parking lot is right on an intersection, and that's why we like it because we could go in front of One of Us Comics for the Arts District and do First Friday shows and give you that kind of vibe. Then we could come literally like 90 seconds around the corner and give you a vibe like this. Because if you were driving by, this would just be another intersection in, the Arts District downtown area of town, North Strip, if you will. But then you turn into, Raquel, strip malls like this, and you have great locations with great people
Test 1, 2,
hosting
3.
great events like the Wham event. And as we get deeper in the night, you'll see what that's all about. We're just trying to get the ball off the tee for you, if you will. But that's what's fun because, again, there's an element of mischief, and apparently there's another ad on the Little Darlings marquee.
Is your sex life dead? Let our little darlings bring it back to life.
And there you go. And as someone, as someone who's lived in the Las Vegas Valley for a long time, there's a lot of
how important that is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how important, and you know how important it is to advertise and endorse those aspects of a business, regardless of if it is that type of business or not. But hopefully you guys hear me right now. If not, it's all good. We'll keep rolling. But what's that?
I don't know. I'm not saying that it means anything in particular.
No, I mean, like, you don't know what it means.
No.
Well, what would your guess be?
I'm not even going to do that because it could be a liability and somebody could get very upset with me. So I'm not even going to guess. Because
It's
the
basically saying
one was full moons nightly.
I will say this.
I don't know what that means either.
They're saying if you are having trouble, that's what it is in a nutshell.
Okay.
And
well, thank you for mansplaining that.
Here, every time we come on air, I get accused of the mansplaining. I'm just going to say, you know what, Raquel, everything's a mystery. Go in the Little Darlings and find out yourself. But you know what? That actually would make a good episode of Midlife Mischief. And you and Lynn, speaking of, just wrapped up a recent episode of Midlife Mischief this past Sunday night. You guys are what, about 6, 7 deep now? Maybe even more than that?
I think that was our 5th. Wait.
Finger count. Love it.
I think that was our 6th episode.
That's awesome.
Episode.
And obviously, it's not necessarily the 6th time you've been on air. You've done a lot with First Friday. Again,
that was our 6th episode
of the show.
Mischief.
But that leads me to that next question, because obviously with your experience hosting events like this in random parts of town and the Arts District. But that's what I love at random parts of town, because that's what we do is GoLive Vegas. Yeah. You don't have to have the space necessarily that you would think for a TV, radio, podcast type of production. We are literally right now, people, in a parking space. We can sit in your
parking lot.
And not just the lot. We are in a space. Like I am inside of a line right now on one part of my chair.
We are not blocking traffic.
And Raquel is literally inside of another line. That's how nifty and how convenient this whole taking their toll. That's why that car heater will be going soon enough. But again, being able to host on sites like this, being able to host shows in the studio, how has that been for you as someone who's been so often behind the camera? How's it now to be on the other side as an on-air talent?
I spent so much time behind the camera,
right,
that it wasn't as big a transition as I thought it was going to be. I was very nervous to do it the first time until I did it. And then I just did it. I don't even think about it. And in fact, every time I do a podcast, if you watch my podcast, you'll see we go over.
Yeah.
Because we just keep going and we don't even think about it anymore. So and I know that's what it's like when we do our live events. We just sit down and we just start talking, and it doesn't seem to be that hard. I don't know.
No, I totally understand what you're saying, because I think so often people think if I'm behind the camera, that's where I'm meant to be in entirety. But people don't realize across the broadcasting industry, so many people who have gotten their start, regardless of the medium, regardless of the genre, regardless of the platform, they have started in the behind-the-scenes capacity. And because you learned the medium that way, whether it be radio locally or nationally, TV, YouTubing and podcasting, whatever it may be, whatever era you are in, industry works, how on-air chemistry works, how on-air delivery works. I think a lot of people would be surprised that if they were to give it a try and they just rip the time, you know how it works. And unlike something that requires musical talent, right?
Yeah.
You're not if you're in the music industry and you don't have the talent, you can be an agent, you can be a manager, you're not automatically going to be able to play an instrument or sing.
Yeah, I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Right, but if you can talk and have a conversation and actually sound halfway decent, I know not everyone does, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people think if they don't have the typical broadcasting voice, they can't do it. A lot of times that adds to the unique aspect of it. It adds to the individuality. So often what broadcasting and podcasting is just being entirely you in front of a camera or a microphone, and that's what you do.
I think if you're hesitating about doing a podcast, but you have information that you want people to learn about, or you just want to do a podcast because you just want to, do it. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it because you don't look this way or you don't sound this
Amen.
way or any excuse whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Because that's all it is. It's an excuse. Just do it.
And everyone who's being Portnoy and everyone who's involved in the entertainment of the evening, that's what makes this so fun. And we could move around. Aaron right now is filming this off of a cell phone, a typical smartphone, Android, iPhone like you guys have. And right now, what's that? No, that
was supposed to be a secret.
No, it's not though, because I think it's important. I mean, maybe you guys disagree. I think it's a portable setup, but I think it's important to emphasize. But that's my point, because when you have something like this, I think people think it's a grand production. They think, oh, I don't have the means to pay for that. I don't have the location for that to work.
We have different things for different budgets.
Bingo. And we could tweak it for different logistics, for different budgets, for different preferences. And that's why I emphasize that we're using a phone right now, because it's so easy. We're not listening a lot. We're in a space and we feel perfectly comfortable, and we chose to set it up that way because it allows for an easy transition into the studio where the night and the event will really unfold. And you saw Neil there. We'll talk to him. But that's what makes nights like this so special.
And Aaron and I actually talked about it today, and we have 4 different setups that we can do with GoLive Vegas.
Yeah,
now.
elaborate, please.
One is in studio. Now that again can also be set to a budget, whether you want to do it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You want to rent the studio for the whole day, you can do that.
Couple times a week.
If you want to do it once a week, you can do that. If you want to do it twice, 3 times every day, you can do that
Parking
as
lot.
well.
Gotta love it.
We are live.
Yes. In the mix.
You can do that. We also have this setup, which is very intimate. It's very simple. We can basically be tucked anywhere.
Yep.
And put anywhere.
Yep.
We have Tink. So we will be getting Tink back.
We have an update?
We do have an update. We received a phone call yesterday asking us for permission to begin the work because they now have all the parts.
Oh, awesome.
They had to order the parts from I don't know where. I don't know where.
It's probably better we don't. Less questions
I
asked.
believe overseas because it's New Camp, and New Camp is either European or it's Australian. I'm not sure which one. So they had to order the pieces. And we have the pieces. She is getting put back together. And then the next part will be painting and then putting giving her tattoos. And once she has her tattoos, we can go pick her up and we'll be good to go. So that's another one. And then the other one is, what was the 4th one? I don't remember. Do you know what the 4th one is?
Well, I'm guessing it's the portable one.
I think it's the 4th one would be on a like what we're going to be doing. I believe next month we're starting all of our podcasts live on stage at the
ToyCon? Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is. And we've done that before for different fan conventions, different, collectors of conventions in the past. And that's actually definitely the 4th one. And that's actually when I was really getting involved with everything in GoLive Vegas. This is where I first met Richard De La Torre, leading to my relationship with him on Full Tilt Vegas, and a lot of the other stuff I've been doing live on the ground with Aaron Raquel. That was very much the genesis of it. It kind of laid out the template. And what Raquel's referring to is, much like if you yourself have gone to any type of convention, if they have on-air coverage, if you look at the layout of that, we very much model it after that. We'll have a live broadcast stage, full-blown TV cameras everywhere. We'll have mics. We'll have a set. We'll have everything set up for the guests, in addition to the main stage that the convention usually puts out there that has their big guests, their big interview. So we kind of work on a 2-front type of approach. We have the actual live convention itself, and then we have the stuff off to the side that we could get on the broadcast stage, and that's for those big type events. But again, if you want something small and intimate like tonight, you could go portable. If you want to just make it a weekly thing for you, your own podcast, your own talk show, your own special type of one-man performance or one-woman performance, you could come in the studio and do that. And of course, you could get Tink in front as well. That's what we've kind of carved out for First Friday. She's out of commission right now. Soon she'll be back in the swing of things, and you guys will kind of get a little bit of a better idea visually in terms of what we're trying to do.
I think we're going to even have Tink at the convention.
Yeah.
I think if she's done in time, I believe what we're going to do. The plan is to do our podcast on stage in front of a live audience, which is nerve-wracking to me, but I'll do it.
Okay.
And then we will also, when we're not doing that, we will be outside doing live broadcasts as well.
Yes, and
with Tank.
yes.
So I mean, there's so many different things that we can do. It's 2025. I mean, you have to keep up with what's going on and the technology. And if you're watching, you can watch on all different platforms of social media.
You can watch on our YouTube page. Yep, you could follow.
You could
check out
YouTube page.
Our website has. We'll have our radio app that will be back. A commission that just needs to go through its update. That's actually. Music and as well as the audio versions of all our live shows. And again, we'll also have different various digital platforms in addition to YouTube, social media, our website. Brand newly updated website will have all archived episodes. So whether you want to watch us live or watch us after the fact, that's going to be easier than ever before in 2025. But where we really want to expand and where we really want to establish a stronghold is, again, that local, remote, intimate type of setting. And we can do that. And I actually want to ask you a question based off of something you just told me. Okay. You're a little bit more concerned about the, live public speaking aspect with actually
in front of a studio, in front of a live
studio audience. Exactly.
Because when I do my podcast, I'm at home.
Bingo. And that's what I was going to ask you.
Our studio is in a converted garage, a converted 2-car garage, so it's that you find in a regular TV studio.
I love how we can mention that, but I can't mention we're using a cell phone to film this. But you're so right.
Personally, I'm walking in from my home, and I'm just sitting down in a place that I'm always in. I'm comfortable.
And there's a reason why
there's nobody else in the room except for Erin.
And
or if
Yum Yum.
And Yum Yum comes with
There's a reason why she brings her cat with her, because it's right there from her kitchen, walking down around the corner.
I don't know that Yum Yum can come with me on a stage.
We
although
may have to make that happen.
To figure out how. It may be Pyewacket
because
that comes with me.
Pyewacket's a little more of an
Pyewacket likes to travel.
He's a little more of an entertainer anyway. Yum Yum's more of the cuddle up to you. Pyewacket will perform for you. And I've just learned that doing my show at their home. And that's what's so cool, because you wouldn't realize once you're in there, and anyone who follows our shows and watches on our social media platforms, on our YouTube page, they know that they wouldn't guess in a million years that that's in someone's garage, because it looks like a professional studio and it sounds like it.
We do that to keep the cost down.
100%.
Because that's what people need to remember. It keeps it private.
Yes.
So nobody knows that you're doing it. Nobody knows that you're there. So it's very private. It's very intimate. So whatever it is that you want to do with your podcast, you really don't have to worry about it.
No.
And it's quiet, and it keeps the cost down because we don't have to incorporate a rent or the electric bill or all of that into the cost, so that we can keep the lights on in a building like this, because that cost has to be extended to you if we do rent in a building, whereas if we're at home, we don't have to extend that. So we do keep the cost down.
It's cheaper for all parties, and once you're in there, you couldn't tell otherwise, and you'll actually find that you like it a lot more, because think about it. Whenever you go to something, whether it be something that you're doing or something someone else is doing, whether it be just going to the market to go grocery shopping, you always feel a little bit different when you're going into a public hub, public parking, a lot of traffic, a lot of people walking around. Here, you don't have to worry about this. You're just going as if you're going to see old friends or family. Not saying you guys are old friends.
We're old friends.
As in
we could be your old
friends.
Yeah,
right. But as in people you've had a long, deeply rooted, invested relationship with, it's as if you're going to their house to chill, and next thing you know, you're walking into a studio. So it's easy to park, it's easy to find. You pull right in. Respective show, and next thing you know, you are on the air. And that's how me, Steve, and Jimmy do it every time you see us on the Game Day Huddle. It's way more personal, and that's what's so cool, because we have all the capabilities a major network or a major local affiliate has, but we do not have so much of the stuff, the roadblocks, if you will. And what?
Are we looking at?
I see a stranger.
A stranger.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You can't get over. You can't lift his leg.
It's someone working his way onto the set.
I'm used to spreading them both at once.
Oh. He got her. We were trying to make Raquel laugh on the show. I think Neil Portnoy, the man himself, did it.
Oh my God.
And of course, we'll go ahead and get Neil on right now. We'll make some room.
Neil in the middle.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of it.
This is how
That's the
live
beauty of
works.
GoLive Vegas, and that's the beauty of this remote
I
setup.
like your shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I know. That was a very.
that went deep.
I was.
That went
Okay
deep.
now.
But Neil,
Yeah.
absolutely. Neil, I was gonna do the classic. I didn't know if Raquel had questions too.
Used to holding anything this long.
Yeah.
Tell Dorothy I'm
That's
sorry.
2. That's 2 in 90 seconds. That's why you want to
Dorothy, I'm sorry.
That's why you want to tune in tonight, because that's the uncandid, unfiltered commentary you'll get from the man himself.
Mushroom in the forest.
Absolutely. There's 3. All right, then. I'm not even going to be able to get the first question off. But, Neil, I have to ask you, last time we were here was the first time we joined you for Wham, Wine, Art, and Music, and you talked to me how big, just with your past, your experience, how big community is and how big it is for you and Dorothy. Nights like tonight, as you get kind of deeper in your journey here with the gallery and with the event, how does it feel for you guys?
Is that a black hole? Can you go through that to another universe, this big circle in front of me?
It's
a portal.
It may be. Stephen Hawking, come help us out.
You asked the question, how large is it? Well, listen, this is the 4th year we've done Wham.
Right.
It was a dream. Yeah, it was a dream of Dorothy's. Let's try it, see if we can get some attention to the gallery. Excuse me, because getting people here is our goal.
Yes.
Everybody thinks in Vegas I do the caricatures. Well, yeah, of course, but there's so much more. And the first word out of most people that come to the gallery for the first 2, and she had no idea what the hell I did. So,
Right.
It's just a normal thing.
This time, a lot of the stuff that you saw on the coverage with me and Mary walking around, that was my live initial reaction for the first time. What makes it so remarkable is that it's kind of a crossroads with your art journey, but with your time in Vegas as well.
Yeah, we've been here 9 years now. This March will be 9 years. We got here knowing one person. We knew one person. And now my name has become a vowel. Have you been a verb? Have you been Portnoy? 2.3 million people, and after the California disasters, and our hearts go out to those people. Half of them are going to be moving to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep coming from California, and it's they're building everywhere in the city. It's still a very small town. I'll give you a case in point. Dorothy and I last night went down to the composer's room to see Stephanie Calvert from Starship and her husband Chris Marion, music director, keyboardist for Little River Band.
Yes.
They were in the big room, and Dorothy, my wife, was talking to this couple behind us, and the conversation got to, so where you from? We're from Massachusetts. Oh, we're in Massachusetts. May go in a different direction.
And that's what's so interesting, because we were talking about that even before you joined us on the set, how what we do at GoLive Vegas and stuff with these live remotes, presentations and productions related to that, there's an intimacy there, because even though Vegas is expanding, it's growing faster than ever before, it still feels like a small town, and that's why you can network, and that's what's so cool about nights like tonight. I have to ask you, though, in terms of your artistic journey itself, what's so cool to me is the variety you'll get in here, because you just kind of mentioned how so many people think of the caricatures, and in terms of the honor of being Portnoy, it all goes back to that. But they find how involved you've been in other aspects, whether it be sports, music, all aspects of pop culture.
Sports is my background,
right?
Of course.
With coaching baseball,
coaching and playing the game, and I know. Listen, I can draw a guy taking a 30-foot jumper. I've taken the jumper. Mine may not have gone in,
right?
But I know what it looks like,
right?
So I'm very accustomed to doing sports. We have our wildlife series, we have our Innocence of Youth series, we have the cities of the world, we have the big cats, we have the exotic birds, building renderings. I basically working in a medium that nobody works in.
No.
To the expertise that I've gotten to, felt tip markers.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about next. Yes.
Unlike oil, acrylic, and watercolors where you can mix colors, mark is a stain. Put it down, it's down. So mark is all about layers, building layer upon layer, and the shadowing effect, etc. Raquel, you want to jump in here anytime? I'm rather going,
well, actually,
okay.
I was I know, and I'm actually gonna hand you the mic in a second, because I know you have some questions. But I love that you clarify that, because what's so cool to me, especially I'm a sports guy, and I remember looking, whether it be the coaches, the players, the team portraits. Yep. What was so incredible to me, I thought my dad would love this, because it's like looking into aspect, the wild animals, and you're all like, this is like something that looks like it's free, like freeze frame out of National Geographic.
It's 3,200 square feet, the gallery,
right?
And it's really, we call it Portnoy Gallery. It's Portnoy Museum. It's what I've done in 53 years professionally, across the country, across the world, and all different aspects. you've heard the old adage, one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing.
Right.
On one hand, I'm one of the nation's top sports artists. On the other hand, I'm one of the nation's top caricature artists, and everything in between that nobody knows about until they make their first stop to Portnoy Gallery and they see everything.
And that is so spot on, because that's what I noticed last time. And I was walking down outside of your art, because what's so cool is you have pictures with so many of the people who have been Portnoyed, those athletes who you've covered in your different, portraits and all of that. And what makes it so incredible, you told me last time you were on the set, yeah, it's cool because you expand your Rolodex. You meet a lot of people. Walk away with the story.
Well,
they're the one who has the honor of your work.
The greatest story I tell is people come in and say, Barry Manilow? It's no different. We get, whatever you do for work, whatever you do for a living, you still get up in the morning, put your pants on the same way.
Amen.
It's not about the toys you have or the wealth you have. It's what you have.
Personal idols and heroes of mine, even guys who were around before I was born. Lawrence Taylor, Howard Cosell. You mentioned your experiences with them at different events, different personal interactions. And what's so cool about it all is that, like you said, they know you because they're in your world.
Well, they think of me as a celebrity.
Right. If you're in the broadcast booth with someone, if you're on the field with an athlete, you may be in their world. But in this sense, almost get that in the art. This is someone who doesn't just watch sports. He knows how they work.
The neat thing is people, you're an artist. So they think you're an artist. Mm-hmm. And especially some of the athletes, they'll start to talk to me, and I'll tell them, what school they went to, what the mascot, who the sports information, and they look at me like, how the hell do you know that? You have no idea what I used to do.
And that's what's so cool. And even the people, because some of the coolest of this, in my personal opinion, of the Portnoy, caricatures are people who are entertainers musically, instrumentalists, singers. You see them with a microphone, you see them in front of a keyboard or a guitar, and it's the same thing because your magic marker is your version of that guitar, that piano, or whatever it is.
You smell those for 10 minutes, you'll be just like me. Whether they're alcohol-based, ink-based, water-based, it's a marker. Somebody said to me once, "Do you ever think about doing a book? A table book?" And I said, "Yeah, I've already got the title."
Right.
And they said, "Well, what's the title?" The title is going to be, "And your mother told you never to play with magic markers, the works of Neil Portnoy."
And that's so perfect.
Yeah.
Rick, and if you can't, don't worry, we'll have full. So you could get a little bit more of a insight and a little bit more of a feel of what's going to go down tonight at this Wham event at the Portnoy Gallery and or museum, because you're going to
I only have a quick question because I know you.
Yeah, I've got to go in. They're calling me to go in. Yeah.
I want to know about Daniel. How is he doing?
Daniel's doing great.
His ratings.
Daniel is in first.
I also have Yum Yum nominated.
CANT is not a word. You're just unable to because you don't have the expertise of marketing because you feel like you're selling yourself.
No, I didn't do it.
We are social media whores. That's what I am.
I didn't do it out of respect for
No, it's a
you
different
and
category.
Dorothy. It doesn't matter.
You know,
I didn't do it because I have respect. I didn't want to come. I didn't want because we know the same people.
But that doesn't
So
matter.
if
You can still
I'm
vote.
asking them to vote for Yum Yum, and you're asking them to vote for Daniel, even if they're in two different categories.
Let me put it out there.
doesn't
Would you
matter.
vote for a Daniel or a Yum Yum? If you're hungry, you vote for Yum Yum.
I should put the picture up, and then
You
we
should
can
put your
compare
picture up.
pictures.
Tell everybody to go to the site.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
We'll set it up on we'll set it up on the Facebook comment section. You can poll. We'll poll it.
Yeah, do the link, put the link, and we'll go. Hey, listen, I got to run back in there.
Daniel, the drawing that you did. That
I have it
saw.
on my phone.
Okay,
So
well,
at
you
some
need
point,
to.
at some point,
At some point, we need to. We need to show
I'll show
it.
you on the phone.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yes, absolutely,
Right.
and do
got
some information on that for people who
Raquel,
haven't voted.
Trade me so
they
Neil
can-
up. Neil's going to go in and take care of all. He's jumping through the wormhole first. Stephen Hawking, help him out. But again, those are some of the great stories and the great personal reflections and insights you get at an event like this, in a location like this, with people like this. So
Yeah.
stick around. We'll hear again from Neil. We'll hear from Dorothy. We'll hear about the guests in terms of what it's like. We'll hear about the guests, what it's like to be Portnoyed, and we'll show you the art, of course. So stick around. We have full coverage of the Wham event at the Portnoy Gallery right here. First one of 2025. We're excited, so don't go anywhere. It's GoLive Vegas on the spot. That was awesome.